Hi guys, Anil Tunes once again, the African Mix Master, back in another mastering tutorial. Yes, and feel free to subscribe to my channel for more mixing and mastering tutorials. Feel free to like this particular video and like even the others, share them with everyone so I can be able to upload more and more content for all aspiring engineers, mixing and mastering engineers from Africa specifically. Still dealing with the same song, which is sung and performed by Casey, also produced by the same artist, Casey. Just a brief listen to the song, then we go on to our next topic for today.
Love me the way I am, take me the way I am. Love me the way love me the way I am, take me the way I am.
I believe by now you know this song. I don't have to play it so much. But today we are going to talk about master bass compression or mastering compression. This is one of the most tricky things, one of the most tricky parts in mastering. Because it's very, very important, and at the same time, it's very much destructive. It can easily destroy all the work that you've done before. But if we look at the recording here, if you are to analyze it, we can see that our wave file is relatively not very much dynamic, just like very many African songs. If you look at the picks here, they're not very dynamic. They're more close in range. In other words, there are no very quiet parts and very loud parts. The difference between the quiet and the loud parts is not so much. And that's what I refer to whenever I say dynamic range, I mean the difference between the quiet parts and the loud parts. So we are just going to give it a touch of glue so that the song sounds together, just that oneness, that wholesomeness. Okay, so that it's not all over, because we hear the snare somehow hits outside the scope of the song, but this compressor will bring it a little bit down so that it's one singular thing. That's what master bass compression is all about. And when mastering, like I told you, less is more and more is distraction. So you always have to do just a little bit here, a little bit there. It's not about overdoing it. So I'm choosing the SSL bass compressor, which is a compressor that is found on the SSL console, the desk, the mixing console, modeled by Waves here. You can use any other that you feel like. There are very many good bass compressors out there. I'm just using this one as my compressor of choice. So, and we shall begin by the threshold being fully down, and by the makeup gain being at 0. And I'll set the release at auto, and the ratio and the attack will be, I'll set a very, very, very a fast attack, which is at 1 milliseconds. And it has analog. I'll leave analog out because just puts in that real artifacts that come from the real original console into the material here. For now, I'll just leave it. So let's try and see how I deal with this particular compressor while mastering.
Love me the way I am, take me the way I am. Love me the way I am, take me.
Just at the default, we see it's already compressing, and I think it's because the attack is very fast. Now, when mastering, there is no need for you to make a very fast attack, only if you're looking for a pumping effect. If it's not what you're looking for, just like this case is, we're just going to make a very slow attack. Let's first push it up to around 10 milliseconds.
Love me the way I am, take me the way I am.
You realize that right here with at 10 milliseconds, when the attack is slow, we get less gain reduction here.
Love me the way I am.
But when it's at 1, when you look here, we get more.
Love me the way I am, take me.
The needle plays more at 1 because the attack is fast. What a fast attack means simply means that immediately when the audio goes beyond the threshold that is set, the compressor kicks in and pulls it down. Okay, so when you set your attack at 1 millisecond, that simply means that just a millisecond above the threshold, the audio will be kicked down. If you set it at 10 milliseconds, that simply means that it will take 10 milliseconds for the compressor to bring down the audio that has gone above the threshold. You may look through my channel. There's a video about compression. You may learn all this in case you didn't know. You're not very well confident with the compressor. That's what it does. So let me try to put it 30. I don't want to hear the compressor. I just want to feel the glue coming together. That's all I want to hear. So I've begun with a very slow attack. The slowest there is on this particular compressor. Then I'm going to go to the threshold. Right there, I'm already getting like a 2 dB cut. It's not so much, just a 2 dB cut. I feel that's like a 2 dB, 1 point something dB cut right about there, because that's all I wanted. I just want to kiss these peaks off. Okay, I just don't want it to compress because I'm not correcting anything. I'm just trying to get a glue, like make something solid. That's all I'm looking for. Now the threshold sets or tells the compressor when to kick in. So the compressor kicks in after the audio goes above the threshold that you have set. So then I'm going to go to the release. The release tells the compressor when to let go of the audio that it has kicked down, that it is holding down. For this particular case, since it's mastering, and just to make it simple for everyone, I'll just leave it at auto. Auto is an algorithm within this plugin that was created by Waves that reads the signal of the audio coming in, and then it intelligently decides the speed at which it releases the audio or at the output level. So I'll leave it at auto for that matter. But even if but for education's sake, you could say it's always very advisable to make a very fast release when mastering. Fast releases are very good when mastering, mainly in this upbeat music. So for now, I'll leave it at auto, and then I'll come to the makeup gain just to check if we've lost some volume. I just bring it back up with the makeup gain. Yes, we've lost some, just a little bit. I'll just say a 0.5 dB. You realize now when I bypass, it sounds a bit more wider and a bit more in your face. But when I apply the compressor, it gets a bit more like more smaller, a little bit, but more solid. Now, if I go to limiting at the limiting level without compressing it, that simply means I'll get clipping. I'll clip, the song will clip so fast before it gets the maximum loudness. So it's advisable I just try to get it a bit smaller and solid, so that if I'm to limit it, it will have some more headroom for expansion in terms of loudness. Okay. Let's listen to another part here.
Let me buy something for your mother. My girl, you know me better. When I have you, got me together.
You see, it's only kissing the peaks, and to me, I feel it is now solid enough. When I bypass, I feel it's all over the place. But when I apply the compressor, it is solid and in one place. And that is all about a master bus compression. Not really too much. You don't have to do too much. Just these small things combined if you've been watching my other videos. Well, that's it for now. Anel Tunes once again. Feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials, and see you in my next tutorial.